Welcome to... I took a bite of banana. Two Tired Twats comedy podcast.
She's going to choke to death on the
This is a
banana.
bad opening with my banana.
Well, you know we were starting the show.
I know, but I thought I could swallow it faster.
That's the theme song that I put the headphones on for?
Did you like the theme song?
No, why doesn't it go, Too Tired Twat?
Well, we were going to
Well,
do
Brian
that.
Plato made us that song.
Wait a minute, not Brian Plato.
Who did? Oh,
Chippy Chaffee. One of our fans did that.
Dave Chippy Chaffee did it.
My name is Patty Rossborough. I'm here with my fellow co-host and fellow twat. Carrie Carabas is here. Very special guest today, comedian. And
She's still shoving
I'm
the
going
food
to be
in
done
her
with this
She
in a
died
second.
during the intro.
Lenny
so-
Marcus is here, everybody.
Extraordinaire. Lenny Marcus is here. I'm going to put this banana away.
Whee! Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Lenny Marcus. We're just looking at pictures of your baby.
Yeah,
That is a
Cute.
cute baby. Birdie.
Birdie.
Now,
What-
did you have this baby vaginally or?
Yes, I had it vaginally. I look great, right?
Yeah, you kind of look like a lesbian, but no.
Is Birdie, I had an Aunt Birdie, a great Aunt Birdie.
Seems like everybody had an Aunt Birdie or a great Aunt Birdie.
She was born in like the 1800s, so that's an old fashioned
The
name.
baby's name is Birdie.
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 What's her middle name, Birdie?
May.
What is
Birdie May. That is so old fashioned.
that? Is
sweet.
Yeah.
Birdie May.
Birdie
Yeah.
May.
And is that
Sounds
named
like a
after?
country singer.
Who
My
came up
father
with
was
it?
Bernie. We wanted, if it was a boy, it would have been like Bernie or Benji or something like that, you know?
How
Some
Bir-
with a B.
but-
We wanted some with a B. So we're not sure we're going to have another one.
Why? What's happening? What do you mean you're not sure you're gonna
They
have
Could
another?
be
Can't
one and
handle it.
done. One and done.
Why?
No,
you
you'll have
can't
another
have
one.
an only child.
You know what? Those are the people that have like 4 fucking kids. We're not gonna have any more.
No.
Next thing you know, she's pregnant again, and pregnant again, and then there you
Definitely
have
not going to be 4 kids. I can
All right,
Why
guarantee
not?
that.
Is it overwhelming?
It's overwhelming. Yeah, it's exhausting.
It is
You know
exhausting.
this. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Well, also, you're not like. How old are you?
Old.
Okay, you don't say.
No, I'm old enough to go, one's good.
Yeah. Because when I had my kid, I was still in my 30s. So when you're in your 30s,
right.
not bad.
you're still old, but it's not.
Are you in your 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
it's
I'm 52.
right. So you're.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
It's like
In 10 years, you might be getting like fake teeth put in.
Carrie's obsessed with teeth right now. Carrie just got her teeth put
I
in.
can't.
See, like back in the day, your kid would be 30 by now.
Right.
32.
And
Right.
that's what
You're
it should have
done.
been.
You would be done.
Way done. I mean, looking at Grandpa,
What about your wife? Now, your wife's younger than you. How old's your wife?
she's 35.
That's a big difference,
Yeah.
Lenny Marcus.
Yes. Well, I wasn't going to have a baby at 52. Oh, that's tough.
52.
With a
Well,
two-
by yourself, yeah, that might be rough.
And is she
Tom,
done?
Why did she marry an older guy?
I don't know.
Because I never was into older guys. I mean,
I
whether
don't know. That's part of the mystery of the whole thing.
Well,
it's
what do you
a
mean?
mystery.
Yeah. I
Does
don't know
she
why
tell you, like, I think you're this, that, or the other
Yeah.
thing? What does she think you are?
She thought I was her soulmate.
Cute.
Whatever.
Soulmate.
Yeah.
Soulmate.
Okay.
And is she your soulmate, too?
Oh.
What happened, Lenny? Okay, stop.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you won't say a soulmate.
No.
It's just the person
It's
you
just
can't
dumb.
live without.
That's done.
That
Well,
you
that
gel together. That when you
No.
watch a movie and there's a funny part, she gets it.
my wife does get a lot of that. There is a lot of that happens between us.
But do
Definitely.
you get
You don't
it?
think
Do
you're a
you
s-
get it?
I don't believe in the soulmate.
You
thing.
don't believe it. Carrie, do you think your husband's your soulmate?
No, I don't think he's my soulmate, but I think I did have a soulmate once, but he got away.
Oh,
Carrie.
so soulmate just blew you off. That's funny.
Carrie. I think Kevin's my soulmate.
All right, Patty, you thought that the other guy was your soulmate too.
I never thought Eric was my soulmate. One weekend I knew it was a big fucking error.
Your soul sister.
Soul sister. But that's so. Is she happy to just have the one kid? Now she's younger. She could have like 5 kids if it weren't
I
for
don't
you.
think she ever wanted kids, so we might have to compromise
Oh.
at one. Yeah, she never thought she would have kids, and I was like, I'm not getting married unless we don't have. Unless we have
you
kids.
threw down the ultimatum?
Well, it wasn't an ultimatum. It's just there's no. My personal belief. This is not for everyone. Is
Yeah.
if you're not gonna have kids, there's no reason to be married.
That was my belief. I believe the same thing. But let me ask you a question. Why did you want to have a kid? Because that's usually a girl thing.
I don't know.
Guys usually are like, fuck that. I don't want to have kids. girls usually want to
Well,
have
you
the
gotta
baby.
live. You gotta leave the you know, the chocolate factory to somebody.
What-
You know what
You
I mean?
have a chocolate factory? How much is your
He
chocolate
takes-
factory worth?
Takes a shit every day in a box. It's his chocolate factory.
So you have some
No, I
cash,
wanted
you're
to have
saying?
kids. I
Do you
wanted
have
to have
cash?
Kids. I don't have a lot of cash.
So
but
what are you
whatever-
leaving them?
The apartment?
What? No, I don't own an apartment. Where
thought
we
you owned
will
that
own an
apartment.
apartment. No, I don't own that.
Oh, I thought you owned that.
No, we're looking
Well,
to buy an
did you
apartment.
get married and have a big wedding? So you
We
must
did
have
not
made
have a
some
big
wedding cash.
No, with the wedding, the cash from the wedding paid for the honeymoon and all, and the
Okay,
wedding.
so what are you leaving them?
I wanted to have a kid. That's
All
the
right,
point.
so don't say the chocolate.
I
factory.
wanted to have children.
Because you know what?
Also-
Your kid's gonna listen to this one day and go, "Where's the fucking chocolate factory?" This
Don't worry, she'll
fucking
be okay.
guy was.
She'll be able to go to college.
Well,
nicely.
are the grandparents involved?
His parents
My
are
parents are not
They are no
here
longer
anymore,
here.
but through them they will leave my daughter some money.
Okay,
Oh.
and the
It's
in-law-
already in the account.
The
for her.
trust?
Yeah, they
Well,
skipped
the-
over him.
529 or whatever that is.
That-
she'll go
that
to
wa-
school and be
that wa-
done.
Wait a minute.
School will be paid for.
That was the stipulation when they died. They wrote it in their will. They said he gets nothing unless he has a kid.
Yeah, I wish.
So wait a minute. So they didn't leave it to you. They left it to your kid, or you're just being nice by not taking it and saying, "I'll give this to the kids."
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
so it was
I've
to
made
you.
money. They gave me some money. It'll
Now,
go
how much
to
you
the
think you-
house and it'll go to the
Are you
kid.
worth millions?
Millions? No.
Okay.
Hundreds of thousands.
No.
We should have looked him up on what's that thing I always look up?
Yeah, the worth, the net
They don't
worth.
know
worth.
anything. That's net worth from what they know on record.
But
you've
what
made
do you-
as
They're
a
always wrong.
celebrity.
They're always wrong with that.
So let me
Everybody
ask you
I
this.
ask.
Why do you read it?
I can't help myself.
She
It's like,
wants to make herself.
always
What do
sick.
they
ask.
have you at?
I don't
She's
even.
not even on it.
They're not even on it. I'm
Exactly.
so
We're
low.
not on it.
So
but
I'm definitely not on.
you,
it.
all right. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Well, you have two businesses, right? You do stand
No.
up.
I have one business, stand-up comedy.
I thought you did websites.
That
you did
is-
her fucking website.
Yes, this is called community service.
You didn't pay?
I paid a lot.
No, she pays, but I'm saying, where else would Patty go? Do you know anybody else who makes a website?
Yeah.
Now I do.
millions of
Now you
fucking
do.
people.
All right, so they're free to go research this.
But I'm just saying. So that's a side job. If you're paying.
Okay.
I have a side job. I sell antiques. That's my day job. And
Right.
then my antiques on the weekend.
Okay.
I mean, my comedy
Yeah.
on the weekend.
Right.
The whatever you want to call this is not making enough money to pay my rent
The side
a
job.
month.
What,
For
comedy?
one? No.
What's happening?
Oh, that's mean. That's mean.
That's a
Here's the
good one.
question everybody wants to know.
I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Your ex-fans, your fans, whatever. They want to know, have you ever gotten on a plane and headlined any club anywhere else out of New York?
Yes.
Where?
Well, first,
With your name. You're the headliner. You've got flown in,
yeah,
and you're the headliner.
cruise ship. Does that count?
Did
They
you?
fly me in. I've been on, I don't know,
Not a
couple
comedy
hundred.
club?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is a cruise ship, but flown in on a thing. Yes, I've flown into private gigs. Does that count?
No.
Why?
Well, is it a Jewish synagogue
Sure.
and all that?
Why not?
Okay.
That
all
doesn't
right.
count.
Well, it does
I'm
count.
just checking.
But no, when
I
they
know where
say,
you're going with this, and
they're
I just want to
saying
make sure.
headliner. Headliner meaning you're the like
Well, if
Sam
somebody
Kinison.
flies you in for, let's say, $10,000 to do a show,
I'd fly.
would that consider?
Even though I
be-
don't like
wait,
to
wait,
fly.
wait, is that a headliner, or do you have to go to a shitty comedy
not-
club
no.
in Kansas City to make $1,000 for the weekend?
Hold on, that's not
I'm just
considered.
taking-
But that's not considered a headliner. In all fairness,
Why? My face is
because
on.
a headliner is a guy who draws from. Like if they put my name on the marquee and say Carrie
I
Kravitz is
don't
here.
draw.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll be the first one to tell you.
Right,
I'm not
so
gonna
no
draw.
one's coming to see me because they
Nobody.
don't know who I am.
But if I book
But
a
you've
comedy
done
club in the
TV.
middle of nowhere,
But see, why don't they come? Because you've
because
done
I
TV.
I don't promote myself like that.
Oh.
It's as simple as that. Let me ask you something. Who came up with the "let's go on the road"? Who came up with this?
What do you mean? Let's.
Guys who wanted to make a lot of money. Like,
Okay.
Like,
So can
I
you,
don't go on the road because they don't know me.
Can you make more money on the road or here?
I don't like the
I'm
road.
going to tell you
I
right
mean,
now.
I go on the road. I'm going to Seattle.
No,
Like,
but
that's
that's
really
not the road. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
When a guy like Louis C.K., who I just opened for, puts up his, I emceed the show for him. he puts up his name at the websites of governors and he sells it out in an hour. That's a fucking headliner. If he goes to, Seattle, puts his name on the marquee and he sells that, that's a headliner. That's
Right.
so I will go on the road when I'm making road, like headliner road money. I'm not going as a headliner from like New Jersey. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to make any money because nobody knows me.
Yeah, nobody.
But if
I'm
I've
not
done
gonna-
TV and people are coming out to see me, now I've got negotiating power.
That's always the problem. Is that you need to? That's always the problem. Is that you need to be a draw, and it's very hard to be a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw and headlining is two different things.
Well, no, you could headline, obviously.
You can
right?
go
Anyway.
around and around. Like if you want to, perfect example, Pete Corielli. He's been everywhere, and now he's gone around the
Is he a
country
draw?
a couple
He's not a
times.
draw, though.
So he goes, I'm starting to draw. Some of these
Yeah,
guys
he's a
go
draw.
around and around, and they'll start to draw a couple people in this city, a couple people
You
in
know
that
who
city.
did that? Bobby Collins.
Bobby
He
Collins.
just
did.
kept going back to these same comedy clubs, and then he started to draw, but
Right.
not really from TV. I mean, did he even
No,
do
he
TV?
had TV. What are you talking
did he
about? He had
do?
like he was
Bobby?
he was in this huge certs campaign which blew him up.
Oh, I don't even
This
remember
is like
that.
$1 million certs campaign, and then he hosted that like
He did the
Caroline's
VH1
or
thing.
whatever.
Yeah, but that
VH1.
wasn't like a big TV thing.
That was when TV only had 7 channels.
Oh, well,
you know?
that's true. Okay.
So
All right.
no, but going on the road and headlining, I've said this a million times. I'm going to give you a scenario. This is every guy that I meet. I'm in the Cincinnati Funny Bone for the weekend or for the week.
Right.
What are you making? $1,500. Okay. What are you doing? I'm going on a cruise ship. Same week. Okay. Same week. I'm making double that. Easy. And they're feeding me, paying me, flying me down there. I'm in the sun. Where are you? Oh, okay. You're in Cincinnati, Funny Bone. You paid your own way. You had to pay the agent. You had to pay this. Like, ridiculous. I'm killing it. It's the same group of human beings. I don't understand why one is better than the other.
Cruise ship people are different creatures.
Oh, really? Go ahead. I like to
I
see the
would
guy in
never-
Cincinnati. I know I can headline in Cincinnati. Go ahead, try and do the cruise ship.
I won't do the cruise
I
ship.
think a cruise ship would be hard. Would
Fi-
be
I
so
would never.
hard.
Of course it'd
first
be
of
harder
all,
'cause
the
you say
fact that I
one
can't
word
say
wrong.
"fuck you" or "suck my asshole," that I can't do a cruise ship.
Well, enjoy the $1,500 in Cincinnati.
But no, a lot of guys make more than $1,500
Well, whatever.
to go
I mean,
wherever.
the standard headliner is that's about what they make.
But you
That's about what they make.
you
Unless you
can't-
go back and back and back, or you have some kind of name and leverage.
But
like
then
you
you
said.
get labeled a cruise ship comic.
What I don't care what people label me. Like you can label me a cruise ship.
I'm not
Nobody
saying
thinks
you,
that.
I'm saying anybody.
I'm basically known as a city comic, and you know what? I don't care. My whole goal was to. Do you see the sign in front of this place? By the way,
No.
the sign on the front door says.
Lenny Martin.
It says no. All I dreamed of was doing a Saturday night at the comic strip. That was the Jerry Seinfeld. That's all. So you read that sign, you're like, that's what I want to do. I want to work in New York City, and I want to be on a Saturday show in New York City. And I'm like, that's got to make a living. Turns out it does it, right? But if you run around and do 6 of them,
I won't do it.
you
I
do
did
3 Friday, 3 Saturday, 4 Friday, 4 Saturday, you can make a living.
When I used to do that, I would, by the 3rd show, I would have no effing idea what I had just said.
But we're not
what
talking
bit-
about now in your fucking 80s. We're talking about when you were 30 and you had the energy to
Yeah,
run
it's
from
fine.
club to club
But
to
even
club.
then,
Okay.
it would be really
I love
hard for
doing
me.
it. Well, I didn't like to space them out. Like some guys were crazy. They would go from the cellar to here to New York,
Yeah.
stand
That
up
was
New
me.
York.
Ray
That was fucking
Romano.
crazy.
Ray
They
Romano.
all did it.
If
Jim
you were
Norton was the king.
If you were following Ray Romano, just know that you were going to be eating 20 minutes longer for him to get to the comedy club. He never made it on time, because he was always like,
Slow and lethargic.
he was always like driving from fucking
You're
the cellar
in traffic. You're
or
in,
something
yeah,
like that. I
It's
don't know.
hard. So I decided that's the way I want to go. I'm going to do that right here. Why
you
am I?
have any-
Why am I work?
Do
Why am
you
I
want to
flying
become
and doing-
famous?
No, I don't care if I'm famous.
But you don't want to? Like every
If it
comic
happens,
wants.
it
I
happens.
fucking
That's not
want
why
to.
I got in the business.
Well, I did, but
I got in the business to be happy because I didn't like my old life. That's all.
What was your
your
old
old
life?
I was a systems engineer.
Oh, yeah. You worked for, what's his name?
Ross Perot.
Yeah, Ross Perot. That's right. Who was insane.
what
right?
does a
it saying?
systems
What is
engineer
it?
do?
Computer programmer analyst.
And that's where you learn how to make websites.
Well, when I was in that business, when I was getting out of that business, they had just started the web. You know what I mean? Nobody had the web. There was no
Right.
internet, so nobody knew how to do anything. So when I left, okay, so now when I finally figure out that can't get on the road, or I'm opening for people on the road.
Right.
Okay, I'm trying to do spots in the city. You got to make a living somehow. So people would go, man, if I only had a website, I'm like, I can make you a website. So it turned into this little side business.
Right.
But now everybody makes websites, whatever. But my career has, gone really well, and now I don't need that business anymore. But
So you
now,
don't do that anymore.
But here's what happens: I'm still better at it than most people, with the caveat. Like I hear this story all the time. I paid this guy to make my website.
Can you fix it?
Can you fix it? I don't know where this guy left. I went. He's gone. I paid this guy $800. It's been 6 months. I'm like, I'll do that in 3 weeks.
Now, you have a good website. Did he make you a nice website?
Yeah, but I need mine updated. My pictures are old. Everything's old on it. I got to get it redone.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you do like the way he made it.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolute.
But, so it was worth every dollar you paid.
Yes. Although.
Were you invited to the wedding?
No, I wasn't, Lenny Marcus.
And I
I'll
heard
get over it.
everybody was invited but Patty.
No,
That's
that's
not
not
true.
true. That's not true.
That's very much not true.
That's not true.
There's a lot of people who
I didn't even know.
wanted
she
to come to
loves
that
you.
wedding.
I do.
I love Patty too, but my wife didn't know Patty. There's a lot of people on
Jealousy.
the fence. No. My wife didn't
Wait,
know
don't
Patty.
laugh that hard, Lenny. At that.
My wife,
That was hurtful.
She's no Dina Blizzard.
my wife didn't know Patty at all. She knew everybody else who was there.
Okay, so everybody from the cellar was there, and
Everybody, yeah, my wife knew a lot of people from just bad luck, I think, for Patty on that one.
Bad luck. He
Yeah.
didn't fight from you, Carrie.
oh well.
Plus, I'm just saying, there was a lot of people, a lot of people on the
an
fence.
extra $50 in your
Exactly,
envelope.
and here's the one thing I know about Patty.
What?
After all the years, like anytime money comes up, Patty doesn't have any.
What do you mean? I would have money to give you.
So I was like, I'm like, that's going to cost me whatever. We've had a lot of discussions on that's going to cost
I
me this,
gave
that's going
Maureen
to cost me
Langan
that.
a lot of money when I went to her wedding.
All right.
Well,
Was
just saying.
Kevin Brennan,
Kevin Brennan was never going to be invited to that wedding.
but you were partners at the time.
At one time we were, but it had already soured, and my wife hates him.
Okay,
Well,
wait a
Can't
minute.
blame her, right? He's always bashing you. It's only normal if she liked him and didn't like you, that would be a weird
When we
marriage.
started, my wife did the social media for the show.
Right. What's your wife's name again, or do you not
Gina.
say her name? Gina, right?
Yeah, and she was so totally into it. We were totally all into it. As it went on, he was so mean, not only to me, but then to her. She's like, I'm done with this guy, and I'm not doing anything to help this at all.
Do you think?
So,
Let me ask you this.
That was the end of that.
Do you think? Because I
And
know
he wasn't coming to the wedding.
I know
that's
he
for
used to
sure.
call her a twat and all these things, but like with me and Carrie, like he called us twats, right?
He calls me cunt.
He calls her a cunt. He calls us twats. We just go, yeah, okay, we're twats. And as a matter of fact, that's the name of her show now. Like we just
You're in show business.
we embraced it.
That's
Right,
right.
a straight person doesn't understand that. Like a person, like his
Oh.
wife
She's
wouldn't
not in show
understand.
business.
And she's 32 years old. She's like,
She wouldn't want
no,
to be
she
called
thinks
a
that's
twat.
insulting.
but that's, but you,
I don't,
but
you, for some reason, you
but
don't.
how
But you have to take it
I don't
from...
find it insulting because I know Kevin. I know he's joking, and I know how funny he
No,
is.
this joking and then is not joking.
You think he's not
He's
joking?
trying to be hurtful, and my wife got hurt.
All right, fair enough. But now, what happened with you guys? There was no way you could fix it.
He wanted to do the show by himself. It's very simple.
Do
But
you
now
really
he's not.
did.
But he's not doing it by himself.
Look. You could ask him all you want. At some point, he wanted to do the show by himself. He thought he was the boss of the show somehow. He's like, I can replace you. And finally, I got tired of taking his shit, and he did a show without me. When I said I tweeted out, we'll be around tomorrow. We can't do it today because it was a Jewish holiday. I couldn't do
Right.
it on a Monday. We do it on Tuesday. He decided he did the show without me. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to fight anymore. This is ridiculous. It's your show.
Did you have a fight at the
You
end?
go see. Wait till you go see. You make it. If you're the king of this and you're so good at it, go. I give it to you. I no hard feelings. Really, none. On
You
my
don't
end.
have hard feelings?
None. Not a hard feeling. I wanted him. He thought he could do this. He thought he'd be more successful. He thought he could make a lot of money.
He actually,
Why
I
am
think
I
he
gonna,
does,
I
though.
think
Why
he
am I going to
does
stand
now.
like so great?
But let me ask you another question.
Great.
How long were you doing it with him?
40 shows.
You know.
Less than a year.
Can I just say,
Less than a year.
I thought the
It
two
got-
of you together were hilarious.
You were
well,
hilarious.
we had 40
Great
interesting
shows together.
I mean,
See,
it
here's
was
the thing.
very listenable. I understand that.
I
for
think
people.
you think he's very funny, right?
He is very
you,
funny.
You respect his.
Say-
I
Stand
totally respect
talent.
everything about Kevin. He can do whatever he wants, but working with him is a nightmare. We don't agree on business practices. We don't agree on what you can and can't say on these shows.
You
we
didn't
don't
want to
agree.
do. You didn't want to do the Patreon or the donations, right?
The donations I thought is not my thing. That's why I set it up for him on his website.
Okay.
Just to be clear.
Okay.
I gave him the button. Go ahead. You want, and these people loved him. You want to donate to Kevin? Give Kevin money, like a guy standing on a corner with a cup. I was like, that's not my style.
Right. What was your thing though for the show? Did you want your show to go further?
Further,
Like where?
I thought
on the
you get enough
podcast.
listeners, you can sell advertising.
Uh-huh.
So he wanted donation money. He wanted T-shirts. He wanted to go on the road. And my business model was, no, I want to do this once a week. And then I want to eventually sell advertising time.
Hold on a
the
second.
money is in advertising.
Listen to me though. If
Yeah.
you guys were a great team, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to go on the road because you and him then would have co-headlined. Hold on.
Wait.
And people would have came out to hear.
Who's the headliner on that show?
It doesn't matter.
You could
Yes, it
flip-flop.
does.
It would have been Kevin.
Me and Carrie would
would've-
flip flop.
No, it wouldn't. There's no way Kevin was going to open for me.
No, it would have been Kevin as the
Okay.
headliner. I said.
Right. I'm not going on the road with
Because
Kevin.
Lenny's
I don't
the
know.
headliner. That's
No,
the
but
thing.
you're getting the money from the door. You're splitting
That's
the
part
money.
of the. Here's part of the problem with this. Kevin didn't want a 50-50 split. Literally, he said on the show, if you listen to 40 episodes of our little show, should get 100%. You should get 0%.
Why?
You're lucky to be here.
Okay, that's not
Okay.
fair.
He was kidding when he said that, though.
No, he was not. In fact, we had to go through the contract and find out, like, we had to hold him to this contract of it is a 50-50 split, which
Yeah, well,
drove
that
him
makes-
completely
but
crazy.
you have to if
He
you're a
wouldn't
team.
sign the contract for a second year because of this
50-50.
50-50 split.
Because-
so he didn't want to go second year anyway with the current setup, but he was going to fight on that. I was like, Kevin, how about you get 100% of the show and I leave? That's perfect.
Let me ask you
But
this.
here's the thing.
You don't
I
understand.
think they could have been really big. They would have been selling out everywhere because all the fans would have gone to see them both.
To the live shows you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, we
And you
sold
could've-
out. We sold out the underground.
That's what the
That's
girls.
what I'm
The
saying.
girls,
No,
we,
it's great.
the guys we
split the
fucked
money.
girls, the guys we fuck girls. You should see how they tour. They do tour, and that does bring them in more people listening to the podcast, though, right?
It's all great. To be honest with you, I don't regret 1 ounce of any
Will
of
you
it.
do another podcast?
I'm
He's
doing
doing
one
one
now.
right now. He's
Oh,
got one.
what's it called?
It's called Four Corners.
What does that
The
mean?
Four Corners. We
though?
do 4 topics, 15 minutes a topic.
Oh, that's right. And then you do the thing at the end.
Are you by yourself?
No.
No, I have a sidekick, Neil Potter.
Neil's the guy.
Neil
you-
Brennan. that would
The other
be
Brennan, that'd
crazy.
be funny, right?
Are you friends with Neil Brennan?
Yeah, I know Neil.
Now,
Now,
let
we
me ask
asked
you this.
if you were friends. Do you hang out with him?
No.
Let me ask you this. So, if you're at a comedy club,
Yeah.
will you say hi to Kevin? Like, are you two?
I started.
Well, I heard-
when I passed Kevin and I would say hi, I would get nothing back.
But
so
we heard-
he was really mad.
Okay.
Now he's mad. I don't know why he's mad.
He's mad.
I gave him the show he wanted.
But I heard you had him thrown out of the comedy
I didn't
cellar.
have-
Is that true?
See, these are those
Rumors.
ridiculous.
Well, this was somebody
shit.
wrote because we get these things, and someone wrote in
Yeah.
ask how Kevin got. People write in. So
Here's
that's
how
what,
Kevin got tossed out of the cellar. Okay. He decided to tweet at Leslie Jones.
now Leslie Jones is your friend, and you work for her,
Right.
Okay,
I work for Leslie Jones now.
right.
So
From SNL.
But does
Right.
she work at the cellar?
she works at the cellar.
Okay, so he tweeted at her.
Tweeted at her. I don't know if he meant to do or not, something disparaging. And she lost her mind and told Noam and Esty, I don't play like that. I will knock him straight out. So they don't want World War III, and they told Kevin to cut it out. Well, he did for a little while, and then he must have said something else.
So wait, he's back on the
He's back in
off
there now.
list. Oh, he's back in.
Yeah, he's back in the comedy
he's back
cellar
in the
now. He
cellar.
got suspended for a little while.
It's like a Facebook jail. It's a
It
comedy.
is like that. So
it's
you
like a
didn't do
comedy
that,
cellar
Dan.
jail.
I
For
don't
anybody who thinks you did that, you
No.
did not.
You
do
don't
that.
understand how little I care what Kevin is up to. Like, I wish
You have
him
a baby
well.
now.
Exactly. I work with Leslie Jones.
Yes.
I have a baby now.
Yes.
I work all over. I go on the road now more than ever
Yes.
because we're on tour all the time with Leslie. So,
It's just you and her. You're the opening act,
yes,
and then she goes
that's
on.
it. Just the two of us.
All right.
So
and
are
we
you?
have a blast.
Are you hurt by and then I'll let it go. But
Sure.
so are you hurt by him? You're not hurt by him.
Well, I just want to. He just doesn't need to talk about me anymore, my family anymore, or Leslie Jones. I think that's fair. I mean, there's no reason that he has to talk about any of who I'm working with. The only reason he picked on Leslie because he's still mad at me. So there's no reason for him to talk about Leslie. There's no reason to talk about my wife. There's no reason to talk about my monetary situation, what I found out. There's no reason to talk about my life. There's
Have you
no
ever
reason to
thought
talk about me at all.
What about if you just sat down with him and said, "Hey, Kevin, let's just
He
discuss
doesn't hear
this."
that.
No,
Do you
Kevin,
know
it's
him?
not like that.
He doesn't hear that.
Let me ask you
Wait,
another.
no?
It's no. But how long has it been since you broke up? It's like a
2
bad
years.
breakup, a bad psycho
This
boy.
is a
It's
bad-
been
this is a bad
2
breakup.
years.
It's a psycho boy.
And I don't care. It's so not on my radar map, like the show.
Anymore.
I don't even know what he's doing, where he's doing it. If it's hugely successful, good luck. God bless him. You know, like he got what he wanted to have. So why am I involved in this at all? I don't understand.
Do you ever listen to his show?
Never.
You never listen to when he talks about you or anything?
Well, that on only one occasion when somebody, I don't know if it's a fan or whatever, I got an email from somebody and said, you should listen to this. So I did. Did not like it at all.
Right.
So
Are you like?
if he brings me up, because look, there's this thing about like, if he brings me up, a lot of his fans or whatever, former my fans or whatever it is with the fans, I have to take that on social media and I have to take it in emails and I have to take it, and then my wife sees it and like, what is up with this?
But
So
can you
there's
see
no
it just
reason,
as a joke? Like it's just
No,
like you
no.
can't see it that way.
because the fans don't take it that way. They think we've
People-
ruined something that they loved, or
Right.
like-
They get very twisted
plus
up.
they get twisted up, and they also have a terrible perception of who I am as not only a person but as a comic or whatever. I have, I'm not going to put myself up with Kevin as a comic. You go see it, okay?
What do you
Right. They
put
can
yourself-
come see your
If
stand
you like Kevin, fine. If you like me, fine.
But you've done Letterman, right?
Done Letterman
Three times. And he has 3 or 4 albums or something,
I
right?
have 4 comedy albums. So, I mean, they play everywhere. I have a really good career. I had the best year of my career this year.
Is that because of Leslie Jones, or is it because of the Sirius?
Sirius Radio plays a lot of my stuff. Leslie Jones
Now,
has been tremendous.
Right.
I've been
you get
with,
paid from Sirius too.
where was I going with Kevin in that? Like, we're again the Cincinnati Funny Bone. Not any. I don't even know if that's a place. Just so you know,
I don't know if there's a
Cincinnati Chuckle House, whatever that was gonna be. I went to the Olympics with Leslie Jones. The Olympics, first class.
That is
I
nice.
went, we tour everywhere we go, first class. I just did an Oculus commercial. I wrote the commercial, helped
What's an
write
Oculus
the,
commercial?
you know those the virtual reality
Oh, yeah, yeah,
goggles.
yeah.
She's in a virtual reality goggles. I get to go first
So
class.
you're her
LA.
writer. You're her writer.
Yeah, writer. I'm gonna do New Year's Eve with her. So when you see her on TV New Year's Eve, I don't stand there and go, man, I wish I was right there and right in front of the camera on New Year's Eve. I don't care. They're paying me. I'm having an amazing experience there. I'm getting paid a lot of money. I'm getting paid more money for that gig than we will ever make for Misery Loves Company.
What, on New Year's Eve, you're
on
saying?
New Year's Eve, yeah.
But you didn't do long enough. You didn't do it long enough. In all fairness, you don't know what you could have made with Misery Loves
Well,
Company.
I mean, whatever Kevin's making, I don't know that. Is that one of the biggest podcasts in the world now? I don't know.
No, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I mean, is it? Do
I
you
don't
hear
know.
things? I mean, is it in the top? Does anybody have a rating
He
on
does
it?
do good. He does do good.
Does
I
he
don't
do
know
good
if it's
because of the ratings on the show? Does he sell advertising?
no advertising. I don't
Okay,
think he
so
does
then,
advertising.
I mean, so it's all donations.
Right.
Okay, so hopefully he's got a huge fan base that gives him money.
Oh, he does. He has a huge
Great.
fan base. And whenever we do his show, we always get people from his
I
fans,
know.
and they give
Give you
us
guys
money.
money.
We have
Great.
to say we do get his fans.
Good.
When we look at our Patreon, it's like, oh, okay, there's
So you
the
think
girl
Kevin,
from his. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
exactly.
So how is this bad?
Okay.
What are you guys upset about with this? I don't get it.
Who am I upset?
Yeah, I mean, why do you care if I got about me and Misery
No,
Loves
I'm
Company?
just like I
No,
wish
no,
you guys.
we're trying to
not
clear the
upset at
air.
all. We're just trying to
Yeah,
figure
I
out.
have
with
no,
you and
like I
Kevin.
said, I've answered all the questions. I mean, I wish him well. He got what he wanted. Hopefully he's making a ton of dough. You guys are making a ton of dough because he's making a ton of dough.
I wouldn't say
We're
we
not
were
making
making
a ton of dough.
dough.
Okay, well,
We need. No, we
We've
need.
got like the flour, and then we get water, and eventually get some
It's
yeast.
not
Oh,
exactly
okay.
dough. We've got the yeast.
all
Karen.
right.
We got the yeast.
Well,
No, but we just thought, because I thought maybe
Are you guys on the
could
road
be
together?
friends, again. I guess that's never.
We're
gonna
not
happen.
big enough yet, Lenny.
Adams, Adam, what's
But,
wrong?
you know,
Adam's
let me
laughing.
tell you,
Adam, do you want to tune
You
in?
are on the road. You are on the cruise ships. You are working away from
I don't even. Here's the funny thing about the cruise ships right now. I don't even have to do it this year.
You don't have to do cruise ship.
I'm not doing any this year.
I can't.
I can never do it.
I
It's
can
all
never do
Leslie.
it. It's
You have vertigo?
A. Yes. B. I'm claustrophobic. C.
Well, these cruise ships are huge. Have you ever been on a cruise ship? There's 5,000 people on these
I can't. I
boats.
couldn't. I don't want to talk to people.
You
I don't want
have
to talk to people after the show. I don't want people talking to me when I'm eating.
You don't have
I don't
to.
want to. I get lonely and I get depressed.
Okay.
You can bring Kevin with you. All right.
I
if
don't know.
he
Some
wants
people
to go.
like it. You know, some
There
people
are
travel the
comics-
world like that.
Look,
Great
Gary
comics.
Delana fucking loves it. He does all that stuff.
Al Romas, one of my best friends in comedy, one of the most
Yep.
talented guys in fucking the comedy world that could have been fucking huge, but he chose to do the cruise ships.
He's making a ton of dough.
He is, but at the same time, he could have made a lot more money had he gotten a show or whatever. I just think that, I don't know.
You got to do. Look, you got to do. You don't know anybody's situation. I meet a lot of guys out there who have weird situations in life that they.
What do you mean by weird situation?
You know, they did clubs forever. They didn't want to. I met one guy. He was like, did every possible club you could do in the United States. He's like, I don't want to go on the road anymore. You know, so he's like, I'm moving to Florida. I'll do it on a ship. He goes out. He's home in 10 minutes after he gets off.
Yeah,
the
they
pier.
leave from Florida, right?
Look, there's a lot of mediocre comics that do cruise ships. Like they're just okay. A lot of hacky, a lot of whatever comics. But now I think because comedy has come to a certain point, good comics are now taking the cruise ships.
Well, they used to call people boat acts, and that was an insult to be
Yes.
called a boat act.
But
because
now good comedians are on them.
Nobody cares. And this like
What do you
it's
mean nobody
again.
cares?
It's go ahead. You want to be a boat act who's making $4,000 a week.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or do you want to be the best act in the world or whatever? Some really good act making $1,500. I don't know. The monetary.
Or do you want to be Ray Romano?
Well, how many
That's-
guys? How many guys have? That's a choice.
But hold on. If Ray Romano went
Yeah.
on a boat,
Yeah.
he would have never been Ray Romano.
Well, I'm not saying do it 52 weeks a year. You know,
All right.
I didn't do it 52 weeks.
And
a
also,
year. I
people
didn't-
tend to do it when they're older. Like if you're in your 20s, don't go on a fucking boat
Yeah.
because they're looking for 20-year-olds. They're not necessarily
They're not looking for
people who are
20-year-olds because the whole boat is 90 years old.
No, but I mean, no.
Depends which
They-
one. You got a
I'm
really
talking
weird
about
perception.
the people
Every
who are
time I've done,
who
every
have
time
said-
I've gone on a cruise, I'm like, get
I'm
me the
talking about
fuck off this thing.
people who have sitcoms are not looking for 60 and 70-year-old people. I don't think they're looking for 20-year-olds. So I'm saying, don't the
That's
20-year-olds go
not
on the boat?
true. All the whole fucking sitcom stars are back in action. Murphy Brown.
Well, that's true now. They are all-
Roseanne,
that's
before
true.
she started calling everybody a monkey or whatever she was calling everybody.
There are, now all these acts are doing specific cruises themselves. The Lewis Black cruise.
What are you talking about?
Lewis Black did
He has
his
his
own
own
cruise
boat?
for years. No, he did like Royal Caribbean made a deal with him, so he went and did Lou's cruise for like 5 years.
What's
Him,
a Lou's
everybody,
cruise?
all the
Louis
fans.
Black's cruise.
Hold
Oh,
on.
Lou's
Louis
cruise.
cruise.
Hold on. So all the fans would go
On
He-
the cruise
for him.
for him
And
and
wha-
Vic Henley and Kathleen Madigan, and he brought like all these guys that that do right here, and he do Lou's cruise, and some of the people who just booked that week.
How many days?
It was a week.
It was a week. And you got to hang out with Lou?
Yeah, you got to hang out with Lou. You did like a meet and greet here and there, and then they did like 3 shows together or something like that. and-
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
go on
great.
that cruise.
You would?
Yeah.
Carrie, you
'Cause
gotta
now
sleep.
you have specific fans that are coming to see you.
Well, if they're coming to see you specific, but you gotta
Yeah,
sleep
yeah.
in a little shitty.
No, you
although
don't.
you get a better room
You
than
get
that.
good rooms. Yeah, the rooms aren't that bad.
And then you're on the
weird
casino.
perception. They
The
make
casino,
ships
the-
really nice now.
Oh, Carrie wants the casino.
Look, you got.
Carrie likes to gamble. Do you gamble?
I don't gamble,
You
but
don't go on the cruise ship gambling?
No.
Ever? You never
Ever.
went in there once.
well, I've been in a casino.
But
so
you don't
I don't
put
gamble.
anyone-
Lenny
no.
doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't gamble. He
Yeah.
doesn't drink. He doesn't drink coffee.
Right.
And you
No smoke.
no
nothing.
smoke, no red meat,
Yeah,
no
my hu-
drugs,
No,
no
red
weed,
meat. I'll eat red meat.
no
My
weed, no
husband-
weed.
No weed.
How about some Xanax?
No pills.
You
No
don't do drugs?
pills?
Did you ever do drugs?
Never.
Okay, what the fuck's going on with you?
I never
Why?
did drugs.
Well, you didn't do any drugs when you were young. You didn't try. You didn't try pot.
I
You didn't
smoked pot and I flipped out.
Yeah, me too. But it was the wrong pot. Let me ask you something. Why don't you drink? I'm curious.
I had these really weird things. Parents, they were great, and that would have been disappointing to them if I got drunk.
Wait a minute.
You're an only child?
No, I have I have
He's
a
got a
sister.
sister and a
she's
brother.
normal, I guess. She's
But you
more
have a
normal.
brother too, though.
No, just a sister.
Oh, I thought you had a brother
No.
too. Oh, that maybe
That's
was
why
her
you
husband.
weren't invited to the wedding.
No,
'cause you don't
actually,
know
I met
anything.
his sister.
Okay, you don't know
She's
anything.
married though, right?
She's
I
married,
met
yeah.
her and her husband. I thought that was your brother for some reason.
So what was your reason into going into comedy? Was your child, because Patty thinks everybody has a fucked up childhood to
No.
go into comedy.
He insists
I liked it.
his mother and father were loving and wonderful.
They were.
But like, why couldn't you drink? Why would that be upsetting to your? Does your father and mother never drank either?
It wasn't in the house. They didn't do any of that stuff.
So do you think you missed out?
No. I
Does
don't.
what about your wife? Does
You've
she
never
drink?
gotten
She
drunk?
does. My wife will have a beer now and then.
That's
She'll
how
have a
she
drink
got pregnant.
now and then. She'll have a.
Did she drink before she met you, or
You-
now she goes
No, she
along
did.
with you not drinking because you don't
We
drink?
don't. So I don't think my wife has the time to drink, and somehow now alcohol gives her a headache. You know the whatever
The-
she used
the
to white
nitrates.
wine. She used to
The
drink white
nitrates.
wine.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Wait
yeah.
a second though.
So it's just you get tired quicker.
So you've
you know?
never drank,
Never drank.
never had one sip.
No. I lost a
He
bet
drank
in
with
1987,
Kevin
and then I
Brennan.
lost with Kevin 30 years
You got
later. or
really
whatever.
drunk. That was
Yeah.
actually a funny
It
episode.
was a funny episode.
Where you drank.
And then of course I get home. I drank because
Did you drink on the show?
On the
yes,
show.
he got.
Shots
He
and
got.
stuff?
He was
No,
plastered.
A beer.
He was plastered.
What
I was
beer?
dizzy.
Did
It
you
was
like
a big one. He had to give me the big one.
Did you
No,
like
I
the
haven't
feeling?
drank-
It's
No,
a
it's
fun
horrible.
feeling.
No, it's
no,
gross.
I haven't drank since I was 27, and then I fell off the wagon, as you call it.
Yeah.
And I was making out with everybody. I made out with Masavia from the Boston
I love
Comedy
Who's
Club.
Masavio?
He was a booker. Didn't he book Masavia? Book the Boston Comedy Club?
Was he attractive? Masavio.
Masavia?
It, was,
Yeah.
it didn't matter if you were attractive. I left there. I made out with. I tried to make out with Jordan Rubin.
Who's that?
Oh, I love Jordan Rubin.
with
Who's
blonde-
Jordan Rubin?
Blonde hair, and he pushed
Jeff
me
Russell
away.
Party.
He put. How dare he? Doesn't
Well,
he
I
know
was
who you
drunk. I was drunk.
are? But you're
And
hot,
I was
Carrie.
just didn't matter. I was so drunk, and then I was so sick for the next 4 days, and I never drank again.
Well, there you
since
go. I used to just watch people like from high school on just get sick.
then. So you never liked it.
But
I
wait
never
a
liked
minute.
it. The
Do you-
taste is awful. I also like
Oh, you
I'm a
don't
sweet
like the
tooth.
taste?
I don't like the taste.
Wait a minute. But do you
Well, there's
think?
Bailey's Irish cream is delicious.
What you think? Maybe you're like a control freak that you
Yeah.
have to be in. You are a control.
Yeah.
Because you don't like feeling out of control.
Right.
Did you smoke pot ever?
No.
But see, why are you a control freak? Why can't you just go? Fuck it, la la la. I'm gonna get
I don't
a
know.
little
It's always like
buzz,
that.
and I'm
Whatever
gonna
it
have
is.
fun
Just
and
not my
let's-
parents. They were like, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Were you
they
like-
wanted me to go out and do stuff.
Your sister drink?
Yeah, she's
Were
totally.
you a nerd in school?
No, I was like,
Did you have friends? Popular?
yeah, I have tons of friends.
No, because kids.
No, but in high school when you're not
There's peer
drinking,
Yeah, I have
pressure.
tons of friends.
I would think in high school if you're not, your friends
No.
would go, "Why aren't you gonna drink this Boone's Farm
Whatever it is with
Shit-
us. I'm like,
shit
no,
strawberry
you
wine
guys
with
go
us?"
That
ahead.
tastes like gasoline.
You guys go do that.
So you overcame the peer pressure
Yes.
of these kids.
I did not feel that.
You did not feel peer pressure.
None.
Did you grow up in the city?
No, Long Island,
Where? I grew up in Long Island.
Oceanside.
Oh, yeah, that's far.
I
Uh,
did not feel that peer pressure from anything.
Okay, so wait.
I
let me-
think it's my father's. My father escaped World War II.
that is
so-
a crazy story. I was
so,
listening
yeah,
to
so
your
when
thing
he-
with Judy Gold, and
Yeah.
she asked you about it.
So I mean, everything was, just don't die. Like it was like one of those. This is
Survival.
survival.
Your
and so when
father, like, really, he left at 15 or something.
Yeah.
Like, without his parents. His parents were killed, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
It's fucking a horrible
Horrible.
story.
And he meets my mother, who's sort of she was sort of a bookworm.
A bookworm. Is she was Jewish too?
Yes.
Would they have to be They have to be Jewish.
My
Like
wife,
with your father, he would have had to marry a Jewish girl.
I don't know. I don't know.
You
I
had to
think, yes.
marry a Jewish girl, right?
I did not. My wife is not Jewish.
Oh, she's not Jewish.
What is she?
Irish Italian.
Really?
So
And
she's
did,
Catholic.
Yeah.
So what about the baby?
Baby's nothing.
No bat mitzvah?
No.
so you're not a religious Jew?
No.
Oh, I thought your girlfriend was Jewish.
Nope.
So she doesn't have to
But
be
you do
Jewish.
a lot of the Jewish temples.
I
and all
wanted
that.
it. I wanted her to be, well, especially when my parents were alive. That's what I wanted.
Because you
know.
thought they would like that.
Of course. I wanted to make them happy.
Wait, were they dead by the time you met your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then you were free
So
to.
now they're
you
disappointed.
could get the
Well, I mean,
the
now it's
goya.
turning in their grave.
Goyim. What do you call her? A goyim? A goyim?
Did
That's
they
like
go?
multiple-
Goyisha?
But what kind of Jews were they? Were they the synagogue? Like they would go to the.
No, they were.
They didn't do the
light
Shabbat.
my mother would light candles on Friday night. you know,
But
and
you
then we'd
could-
have chicken.
But you
What do you mean at the house?
At
She
the
lights
house,
the
you
candles.
light, there's like,
instead of lights.
yeah, it's like just blessing on it.
Wait,
but no, there's not. We had lights, we had everything. It was just this little.
Lenny, you never did anything wrong. Nothing. You're growing up. You
Rarely.
didn't steal. You didn't. Every
Nothing.
kid steals. You don't steal. You don't.
Patty stole this morning.
Do you like it? Wait a minute.
No,
I
that
don't
was drove my
believe you.
sister crazy.
What
Well,
drove
now
you?
she
sister?
was-
I was going to
was
eat
the-
2 shoes.
That
Yeah.
is
She wasn't,
annoying.
and
Yes.
she wasn't.
She wasn't. I mean, I think that's what her thing was. You know, like I'm not gonna.
Did they
Lenny's
think you were
this, Lenny's
gay?
that. Who knows? Maybe.
Why would they think he's gay? Because he doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink. He's kind of like. you
Yeah,
know,
my father wasn't like that. My
OCD.
mother wasn't like. So he was just. I don't know.
Okay.
My mother said this is a control freak story for you, right?
Okay.
You know how you feed the baby and you put the stuff on the spoon and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I would get it all. You know, babies get it all over themselves.
Right.
But I was such a neat freak. I would tell my mother like, "You do it." So
What do you
she'd hand
mean?
me the spoon. She'd try to hand me the spoon to do it. I knew I couldn't do it as a baby, so I would hand the spoon back. No, you do it.
How old were you?
So that she would get it
Baby.
in your mouth.
Like
So she would get in the mouth, so I wouldn't make a
wouldn't get
mistake.
dirty.
Wouldn't do it wrong. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there is something wrong
Yeah.
with
So
him.
let me ask
But,
you this.
but nobody. So there,
Aha, motherfucker! There is something wrong with you, and you were born with it. Aha!
I was born neat. I'm sorry, everyone. I was
No, there
born
are
a neat
kids
freak.
like that. That I had my
I
friends.
always like things just so.
OCD, right?
It's not OCD.
What is it?
I don't. I know you want a label for it. It's not OCD because I can leave the house.
Yeah, but if-
I don't turn the light off on
No,
and
no,
off.
but what
Yeah,
about the dirtiness? Can you have a dirty shirt on, or do you have any of that?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I'm sure. I'm
Okay, let
dirty
me
in
ask you
some
this:
way.
your wife leaves a dirty dish in the sink.
She will drive me crazy. Yeah.
so you
It
don't
will
like
drive me
that.
crazy.
You don't like
I
a dirty dish.
It will. I have to have a place at certain cleanliness level.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, leaving a. Well, then you can never live with me.
Yeah, me either. Now, what about if she takes a day off from taking a shower? She's
My
like,
wife?
yeah, I'm
Oh,
just
she'll
gonna
take a
do
day off. Yeah, she'll
2 days.
That doesn't affect me.
3
It's-
days, no washing of the hair.
No,
You're
even
right?
she-
You'll go down on her with no,
No,
no shower.
a day.
Lenny.
A day. A day.
But are you like, oh, you better take a shower? Like, are you one of those guys?
No, she'll. My
She
wife,
knows to take a
my wife's
shower?
not an animal. I mean, eventually
I'm not
she'll
an animal either.
self-correct.
But if I'm
How
sick,
many days?
if I'm
Patty.
sick, I'll go. I was sick this week. I went like almost 3 days without a shower. I said to Kevin, hey, good news. I woke up today. I go, I've got the podcast. I'm taking a shower. He goes, thank God. Because sometimes, you don't feel
Yeah, but
good.
you're not
Right.
banging unshowered.
No, I don't. Oh, are you kidding? I shower the second before we do it. I
Mm.
don't even shower that morning and do it and if
You don't want to leave a bad taste in anybody's mouth.
Never. I told you I had him once say something to me like, oh, because I was like,
Tangy.
I go, you want me
That's
to take
angry.
a shower before we? Because no, because once you take, I go, I took a shower this morning. He goes, no, we're good. You're crazy. Why are you so worried about it? I go, okay. He goes down there.
I did go
And he-
jogging
And
earlier.
he stops like what he's doing, like it's just like real quiet. And he goes, maybe that is a good idea if you take the shower. I'm like, God damn it, that was humiliating. Next time, let me just take the fucking shower.
There you
So
go.
ever since then, I always, I never. But if we're not doing it and I feel sick,
Yeah,
or
my
whatever-
husband has to take a bath and he's got to boil himself. I can't go near him unless he's showered and brushed his teeth.
Yeah, and I'll ask too. I'll go, did you take a shower? And they'll go, oh, I'm good from this morning. I go, well, just rinse it off then. You know what I mean? Like, how good
Yeah,
can you
but
be
your
from this
husband's
morning?
circumcised.
Yes. Why yours isn't that circumcised?
Greeks don't do it to their kids.
Get the fuck out of town.
But so there's a
Oh,
an
that has to
element of-
be-
well, if there's nothing, making it stench, why does
What do
he
you
have
mean
to
making
shower?
a stench?
Like Kevin doesn't have to take a shower.
No.
He doesn't have a raincoat over it.
Yeah, that's true. I've only seen one of those once, and I got something from it.
It's an aardvark.
It's like, you got to peel it back and get all
Yeah.
the schmutz out. Do you have
He's
I'm-
Jewish.
yeah, I'm
They,
circumcised.
You're
they
cir-
have a
oh, you
whole
have to.
ceremony. They have a party.
Yeah, it's a party.
I couldn't do that to
Good
my
food.
kid. I couldn't.
I
do it
wouldn't
to
if
my
I
kid.
told Eric if I had a son, we're not taking the tip off. Leave it alone.
You know why I
They
couldn't
do it in the hospital now.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't do it because they don't put anything to numb the kid, and they just pull it and go. Whoosh.
Yeah, and the kid cries. The kid cries.
1 second for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
Done.
maybe who knows what
No,
the.
I
I just
do it.
couldn't do it.
I couldn't
Okay.
do it.
And also, supposedly, more nerve endings than the tip, Carrie. Is that true for your husband?
True. A lot more sensitive, so he comes a lot faster. Thank God.
It's a win-win for you,
It's
Carrie
a
Carabas.
win.
Oh my God!
But Europeans don't do it because the Italian, like, all right, I'm not going to get into how, but all the Europeans don't do it. The Italians don't circumcise their kids in Italy.
they don't.
No.
So who's doing it? Just the Jews in America,
Jews in
No,
Israel.
all
all
over
over.
the place.
Yeah,
Why are
but
the Jews so
it's
concerned with their penises?
It's a cleanliness thing, I think.
yeah,
Cleanliness thing.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I had a
Less diseases, I think.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Oh, maybe.
well, because nobody showered back then, right? They had no running water in the house. You'd have to. So it was gross.
And then once it gets in tradition, it's over for the Jew. Like it's just
yeah,
gonna
the
be like-
tradition is so deep.
Tradition.
Yeah.
Listen,
What the
I
fuck
love
was
Fiddler
that?
on the Roof.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I tell you why I hate that movie? This
Why?
movie,
Sad.
I love that fucking
I hate that movie. The father fucking watches his daughter with the non-Jew walk away, and he lets her
And
go
he spit
because
at
he's
her.
so into his religion that he loses his own daughter. And to me, give up the religion before you give up your child. How can you give up your child for a religion? You give up.
What if God told you to?
Too bad. I'm going with the kid. I'm going with the kid. I don't care what God says.
It's a very sad movie.
Because
at times.
a God that I would love and know wouldn't make me choose to walk away from my kid. How can you walk away from your kid?
There's a lot of crazy religious stuff, right?
Well, in
Lot of
every
crazy.
religion. Oh,
Oh, what'd they say?
how much time? What time is it now?
What?
8:30. You got 8 minutes.
All right,
We've
wait.
got 8
All right,
minutes.
I got a minute. Well, you can still do it. Ask him if he could put the next guy on.
I like the way Carrie does this now.
Like if he could flip me, I'll be. It's fine. I don't care if he flips me. Tell him. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I could do it, but if he wants to flip me, he can.
Yeah, or to give her an extra 5. We're almost done. Right?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, but that's the only thing about what I feel. I mean, to me, like your family's everything. Your kids are everything. So I don't understand. That's why I hate that
Do
movie.
you feel like now you're complete with this baby?
Yes.
When you're gonna need a big house though. You can't have a kid in an
You're in a
apartment.
one-bedroom?
I'm in a one-bedroom.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
But where does your
We're
wife
gonna
where are
put
all
her
the toys
clothes? Where
gonna
does she put her
go?
shoes?
It's difficult.
There's a lot of toys that are coming.
There's a lot of toys that are coming. We're working on it. We're trying to find a place.
But how long you been looking? You got to go.
You have
Look
the
at me.
money in the bank
I'm
from the.
I'm coming
from
from your
what-
wife's point of view. Because your apartment, there's no room for shoes.
Here's the thing,
I have
though.
an entire closet that's as big as your living room.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We're
Where does
working
she
on
put her shit? She's got it in storage.
She's got it. No, well, we have some stuff in storage, but we have, she's got to be economical. We have one big walk-in closet. I need very little to be happy in that respect.
Well, what about if the baby's crying or like there's no quiet place to go?
No.
Well, there's another room. I mean, the baby's
need what-
sleeping with us in the
Why don't you
Oh,
move
no,
back
there's
on Long
baby.
Island?
because the work is here.
But you said
You could
wait, you have
commute,
a car?
people
You can
commute.
fucking get in our train.
It's optional. We're looking at the
Where
problem
does
is
she
since I
work,
work at
your
night,
wife?
my wife works, and by the time she gets home, I'll have to leave.
She works in the city.
Like tonight, for perfect example, to come do this at 7:30. She walks in the house at 5:30.
Oh, and you just hand the
and-
kid off. Goodbye.
Bye, and we don't want that life. So we're gonna. I mean,
Oh,
we
you
I
don't
mean,
want
we
the
don't
commute.
want if she has to commute home. She's gonna walk in at,
An hour
7:15.
later. An hour later.
Yeah, we're
What's
gonna-
her job? She got a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
What's it? What is it?
She's
well,
in
can't wait a minute.
finance.
If you're working, and you're-
Finance, Carrie. We just did Richie Byrne with the finance.
hold on.
This
She could
is-
be working in a bank for all you know. Listen to me.
That's a good job for a comic, for the wife to be in finance. Do you understand, Carrie?
Patty, can I
All right,
finish?
please.
If you're making all the money, can't she just stay home?
Can she stay home?
Because think about this: if you're making $3,000 to $4,000 a week in a cruise ship, on a cruise ship,
Right.
that's enough money.
A week. But I'm not going. I go
He's not
4
gonna go-
times a year, Carrie.
Oh,
I
he's
so
don't
not
I
gonna-
do.
thought you were going every week.
No,
Then he would
these
never
are
see his
lies
wife.
that you hear
You
from
just-
somewhere.
you
I don't
know,
know.
you just
Where do
said
you
it.
get these things?
You just said it. I didn't
no,
even
that's
know you
people.
did cruise
I
ships.
do 4 a year.
Oh, that's not
Now
really.
this year
Then
we're
you're
gonna
not
do 0.
a cruise ship comic.
Right. I'm a city comic.
Right, but if you were a cruise ship comic leaving out of here, you'd be making $3,000 to $4,000 a week.
We would. If
She
all
doesn't
I
have
did
to
was
work.
cruise ships, we would move to Florida. My wife, both of us don't need the cold weather. We'd move to Florida. I'd go out, come back, see you on the weekend.
Exactly.
Would you
Yeah.
ever do, okay. Can I ask you a quick question,
Sure.
though, about, or was it time to go?
I can't find him, so
All right, I'm going to go out there. You guys finish this up. I'll be back.
If you're not back, we'll say goodnight.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going
It
to
was
ask.
fun.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right, Carrie's redoing her makeup. I have a question about Letterman. Okay, you've done
Go ahead.
3 Lettermans.
Yes.
Okay. For
How
comics.
come he never put Patty on? All right, that's what I.
Okay, so you're doing a Letterman spot.
Right.
How do you do a Letterman? So you say to yourself, I want to do Letterman.
Right.
Now what do you do?
Now what do I do? Like
How do you get a
now or
Letterman?
then?
Then and now.
The booker was a guy named Eddie Brill.
You were friends with him, yes? Or you don't want to say you're friends?
I don't like. Again, Eddie wasn't at my wedding.
Well, I wasn't either.
Well, I mean, I don't. Again, I didn't hang out with Eddie.
Okay.
I know Eddie. We all knew Eddie.
Oh, I'm not saying.
I know Eddie like you know
I'm
Eddie.
not saying you got Letterman because he was your friend. I'm
Right.
just saying, but you knew Eddie.
I knew Eddie. Here's how I know Eddie, right?
Okay.
When I started, used to have to go to Caroline's.
Yes.
It was a bringer show.
Okay.
A guy named Pete Klusman would tape it,
Oh my God, Pete Klusman.
right? He would
the
tape
Vietnam
the show.
vet. He had been
That
in
was the
Vietnam.
only way you could get any kind of marker on your act. You'd take that tape,
That's right.
make 1 billion copies.
That's right.
And hand it to bookers.
Yeah, and you'd go to
managers.
his house, which was a 1-bedroom. He had all the tapes in his bathtub. Do you remember this?
Yeah, he had a very small.
It was very small, and you have to move the shit off the bed to go to sleep at night. I don't even know how he lived
Which
like
is
that.
another reason with my technical expertise, after I did that with Pete Klusman twice, I was like, wait, I see what he's doing. He's got a computer program.
Yeah.
I'm a computer programmer.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy that program, and I'm going to buy a camera to film myself, and then I'm going to be done.
Cut out the middleman.
Exactly. Why am I paying this guy every time I want to put a tape down? What if it doesn't go well? And that's what people would pay
That's
him and
what
go,
would happen.
I don't want it.
I did Long Island, and you know what? There was a glitch in one of the things. I'm like, I can't even use it, but it was $500 or whatever
that
it was.
is, right? So
And
I'm
I
not
never
paying,
used it.
Right. So I'm not paying this guy for any more tapes. And so I bought all the equipment, learned how to do the editing software.
Okay.
And then people would go, well, will you edit mine?
Yeah.
Yes, I will for X amount of dollars an
Okay.
hour. You know, like, and I just charged comics the same small flat rate because I was like, I'm not getting screwed. And I'm not going to let my friends get screwed. Like, try and, you know.
So wait.
This has been all community service. Anyway.
Okay, so how
I'm
do you do
making-
the Letterman
So I take
set?
that tape, and
Yes.
Eddie Brill was the guy who hosted every Monday at Caroline's those shows.
Okay.
So Eddie Brill was on everybody's tape, every new comics tape for like 10 years.
Okay.
To the point where bookers when you would go to a comedy club anywhere, a booker would say, if I see one more tape with Eddie Brill, because they knew it was an open micer on a great night that they brought all their friends or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, my tape lasted me like 15 years, got me a manager, whatever. I didn't
Okay.
need another tape after I did it, right?
Okay.
Which was great. So Eddie knew me. Forget about the tape. Eddie knew me since like day one.
So we knew your act.
He knew that version of my act when I was a rookie, you
Okay.
know. Cut to 17 years later, Eddie Brill still doesn't put me on the show. You know,
But did
so-
you go to him
Yes,
and say, I want to
would
be
go-
on the show?
I would go to him and go, Eddie, can you look at me for Letterman? Yes, I have a showcase coming up. Whatever, I'll get you on it. And we would, you know, call each other, email, whatever. I get on the showcase, and then I would do it. Wouldn't get the show. He would call me. Let's go over the notes.
And what would he tell you why you didn't get
And
it?
he'd say, well, this joke is inappropriate for Letterman, or this one, you can't do this on it. Or
And what would
this
be
one-
inappropriate, like that you're using?
Indian accent, like I did an
oh, you
Indian
can't
accent.
do an Indian. What else?
He would say it has to be above the belt. It was like above the belt. He had some really weird criteria, so you couldn't even reference a dick
Anything.
joke.
Oh, you
Like-
couldn't even make a dick joke without saying dick.
right. Any
Okay.
innuendo, maybe if
Okay.
you were experienced, they let you get away with it.
All
You
right.
know, like innuendo at best. But a lot of jokes just wouldn't make it. That was the first round. So like I'd say, 7 years in, he was like, no, Letterman won't. And then it was like, then 2 years later, I would give him another set, and he'd go, oh, this is really good, but there was always something about it. And then I got to this.
But couldn't you just say, okay, I'll change that part, and now let me do the
You
show?
would think no, because then he would forget about it, and then and then you'd see him and go, all right, can we do another one? And he's like, well, we have other people. Let me get back to you. You know.
Right.
And so you would just keep putting on this cue that would come up like so I have the notes from all these sets. So every 2-3 years, I would get on the audition, and it would go well. And then I remember some guy just dropped a plate of something in the middle of the thing, and then waiters scrambled, and that was the end. Nobody listened to the end of it. He's like, well, we'll have to do it again. 2 years later, you know.
So you would take all his notes.
All his notes.
And then you or did you just use the jokes you already had? Or you mean you wrote specific jokes to get on that show?
I kept writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And then eventually I thought I had a set for it. And he was like, he's like, all right, well, and he would give me the runaround. We'll get you on a showcase, we'll get you on a showcase. And then I finally got on one, and I murdered.
Okay.
And then I called him. He called me, and he's like, I go, well, he goes, great jokes. Everything was great. Okay, when's the date? And he said, like, well, no, then producers, they're rooting for you. I'm like,
what does that mean?
Well, what's the matter with it? What are the notes? I got my pen. Like, what?
Yeah.
He goes, I don't know, something about sustained energy throughout the set. Like, thought I came out good, started out as a house on fire, and then sort of in the middle, just it dropped off. I'm like, but it didn't. You know, I was there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Now I'm thinking, they don't want me to do the show. Like,
Yeah,
once you get no notes.
And they
So-
still don't want you.
But
yeah.
then he did this. So then 2 years later go by, 3 years later, I'm like, I'm more experienced again as a comic. I have an even better set than that one. It's ready to go. And then I want him to get to look at it. And then he wants me to come do his Nebraska Comedy Festival.
And you say, I'll do that if you put me on your fucking TV show.
I go, I'm going to go out to Nebraska Comedy Festival. And I didn't want to. I go, but I'll get this set. If he's going to watch it, he's going to watch it now in front of 1,000 people.
Right.
Kill.
Yes.
And I'll get on the show.
And that got you on?
No. So I do it.
What a waste of fucking
I go all the way to Nebraska.
That is so annoying.
So annoying. I go all the way to Nebraska. I kill, right?
Right.
I get back to New York, right? And I'm like, well, I got to the finals of this competition in Nebraska, you know. And I go, Eddie, how about that? How about can we work on a Letterman now? I mean, he goes, yeah, definitely. Definitely. He goes, send me a tape. I'm like, wait, what? I go, you saw the set I want to do. He's like, yeah, just send it to me. I go, can't you just get it from Nebraska? You run the festival.
Right,
just
right.
have them send you. Somebody must have, they taped the
Taped it,
show.
right.
Just send you the 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you know? And he goes, no, they don't give it to me, whatever, this whole thing. I'm like, he goes, just send me what you did. It'll be fine.
It does sound like
A
he doesn't
runaround.
want to use you.
So I take the tape. He goes, it doesn't even matter. He goes, I loved what you did. He goes, let's work on it. He goes, he's serious this time, right? Come into the comic shop. He goes, I don't care what day it is. I know what the jokes are. I know how they do. Just get it down on tape, right? So I came in here on a Tuesday night. There was 8 people in the crowd, right?
Yeah.
I ran the jokes for time, right? I put it down. I sent it to him. He writes back, great. I'm just going to tweak a few things, and we'll get you on the show. And now I'm like, great. That weekend, he popped off he said something on New York Times and got fired.
Out.
And was out.
Oh, kill
So
yourself.
he said, the last words of Eddie Brill that I know were people like, oh, do you feel sorry for whoever was in the queue waiting to go? He goes, yeah, I feel sorry for Lenny Marcus. He was next. So now
That's
been to,
horrible.
so now if talk about I don't do
unlucky.
drugs or drink or whatever. I don't depression, whatever. I was depressed for one day in my life. It was that morning when
Why
I read
only
he got
one
fired.
day? Why?
Because I've been working for this for 17 years.
I know. I would be depressed for like a year after that. That's
Well, you got to get out of bed. Like, okay, what's the course of action? And well, there's who's the new guy?
Yeah.
And here we go again.
But they probably knew
And-
you, the new guy, right?
No,
He probably,
the producers knew who I was. Bill Sheff knew who I was.
yeah,
They
Bill
all
Sheff.
knew. I knew Bill Jeff. Whatever. Eddie was in charge of this, and they let him run with it. And then these 3 kids took over. Younger.
That's
kids.
the worst.
They were
when
the
young
wranglers,
people,
and they would go out and do showcases, and then bring whoever they thought was ready back to the producers.
And were they good comics or not?
These kids didn't know what they were doing. They
I
were
know.
just
That's
like,
what I mean. Why do they hire young people to do that?
Anyway, so I sent them. I said, "Hey, I have a tape that Eddie was working on. Great, send it." I sent it, and they wrote back, "We don't think it's good enough to be on the show." I'm like, "Well,
Lenny.
wait. The reason why you don't think it's good enough is because
You don't know.
he told me to send it with 8 people in the room. Like, trust me, the jokes work. I did it in Nebraska. He told me this. Just send it. He was just looking at it. He goes, sorry, and so I wrote. So now
See, I would have given up by then.
he goes, but we have a showcase at Broadway Comedy Club if you want to do it in a week.
See, I would have given up.
And
at
I'm
this
like,
point.
and I was just writing back. Like, I wrote back to him. I don't understand why I have to do a showcase because I was going to do the show. You know,
right.
what is this?
You were already in the queue.
And he wrote back, I'm sorry, but this is what we can offer you. This kid, you know?
Yeah.
And I wrote back to him, all
He
right.
probably doesn't know who George Carlin
And so
is
I
or
took
anybody
2
else.
walks around the block, you know? And my friend's like, you know, and of course you tell people who don't quite get this, and they just go do the showcase. You'll do well and get on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
it's hard to set yourself up for
all
some,
of that.
Yeah, again.
Anyway, so I tweaked my own set,
Yeah.
you know, like whatever. I don't know what Eddie was working on, so I tweaked the set. So I go do this showcase. And my friends are coming now. Now, my good friends Neil and Bethel, they're like, we are coming to this because we cannot believe this baloney has been going on for 10 years,
Right.
you know? They come to the showcase. I blow the doors off the room, you know, like if that doesn't get on, it's over.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah.
And they come out and they go, yeah, we think.
They gave it to you.
Yeah. Then they call up and they go, do you want to do this set or do you want to do the original one you gave Eddie?
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, that's suddenly good enough now? Like I was.
Yeah, because they can't. People who aren't around comedy a lot, you can see that something's funny without the laughter. You can see when people are funny when there's 2 people in the audience.
It was crazy.
But a lot of people.
So then they said, okay, you're on. So I did it. It went super well. My first one.
It did really good.
And and Bill Sheff came upstairs at the end and I totally respect him. Like he goes, I just want to apologize for all the years that we put you through this.
And then he gave you another one, and then they gave you another one.
Yeah, he loved me. Letterman loved it, and I would have done that show once a year. I did it like 3 times in 14 months or something.
That's very cool. I remember that. I was like, that was great.
And
but that should give people, you know, anyone who's listening as a comic, it's just like, I can't believe how much you push, because I would be like, fuck that.
But it's happening again now, you know, like it's funny because there's a person who is that equivalent kid who does the Colbert.
Oh.
And so right before my wedding, she came up to me after seeing me a million times downtown and goes, you want to do the show? Like, no audition, no nothing.
Right.
Send me a set. I sent it. She approves it. She goes, when do you want to do it? I go, after my wedding, when I get back. I got back. Donald Trump won the presidency. Their paradigm changed on that show. I don't know what happened. Like, he just did all presidential jokes.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know if
true.
he needed
It's very
one
political. Yeah.
political. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I've been given the runaround ever since.
Oh, no.
So here we go again.
See, that's the problem with this business. It's so hard.
It's so hard.
Because even when I was just watching that Joan Rivers documentary, even when you make it, then you start all over again. There's cycles, and you're down below, and then you come up. It's just
Letterman
constant.
was the one I wanted to do as soon as I did the first one, and my father was still alive for that.
I saw the picture of your dad on that. That was
and it was
very
Father's Day that weekend.
Oh,
if you watch the tape, it's like me going, I go, Happy Father's Day. He goes, oh, are you Father? And I go, no, but my dad's up there in the balcony, and it was the greatest.
That's cool.
But if it didn't happen before my father passed away like less than 2 years later, if it didn't happen.
That would have been bad because you're
I would have
vindicated.
been
You're
mad
like, see,
at
Dad?
everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if my life I would have been really, really upset.
Yeah. You
at a
see,
lot of
Dad,
people.
I am funny.
Well, he was always my father always asked me, like, Eddie likes you. Why didn't he put you on? You know.
Yeah, he doesn't
So,
understand how it
you know, it
fucking
doesn't work.
works. Anyway, all right, Adam's been here since fucking this
Just
morning.
keep trying.
So,
people.
we got to get.
Do what makes you happy. That's the thing. If you're doing a podcast and you don't like what you're doing on the podcast, go do another podcast that makes you happy. It's not about the money.
I tell my daughter, go where the love is. If the club's
Yes.
not treating you right, go to a
Go
different
somewhere
club.
else.
If the boy's not treating you right, go to a different boy. If you don't like your job, get a different job. Go where the love is.
The best advice.
Because everybody's going to die, and before you know it, you're dead. And who gives a shit?
That's why
right?
I said nobody's going to remember. Even the best comic ever. Give me any comic 20 years ago, the greatest comic of all, Lenny Bruce. Nobody can tell you one Lenny Bruce joke, Even Cosby, you know what I mean? These people may live on in some ways, but Jerry Lewis was the biggest guy ever. Nobody gives that guy 1 second of
What
time.
a
We're all just
miserable
gonna
prick.
Die.
What a miserable prick. That last fucking interview with him, he's just nasty and hateful. But anyway, Lenny, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Did we clear everything up?
Well, I still want you.
Next wedding.
I want you and next wedding. Please fucking invite me.
Patty, you're one of my favorite people in the
know,
world.
I
I
was
wish
so-
you would know
I
my
was
wife.
a little hurt that I wasn't invited.
I
will
love
be
Kevin
honest.
too. You know that.
I know. Me and Kevin were like, we didn't get invited. I felt really bad, but I want you and Kevin at some point maybe to make up. I don't know if it's possible.
To be honest with you, there's no point
I'm still
to
bringing it up. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like you two used to be really good friends. I see
We
how he
weren't,
used to
though. We
you
weren't.
that good friends.
No.
But I feel
Kevin
like he
has
does
no
with
friends.
He has friends.
Who?
I think
You guys?
Brian McCarthy. We like
Brian
him.
McCarthy
he likes
and you
us.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got other friends. He's got
That he
like,
hangs out with?
I don't know if he hangs out with
No,
them.
he'll be the first one to tell you he doesn't have good friends.
But anyway,
you know,
hope springs eternal.
best man was the bartender he met like 2 days beforehand.
All I know is somehow I see in the future you
I'm
two
sure
having a
eventually.
drink together.
I'm sure
and
eventually. You know, we'll. I mean, it's really his call. I see him.
just say
I'm fine.
hi. and
I
maybe-
said hi. I've said hi 100 times. He's mad about something. I don't know what it is.
All right,
okay,
well-
that's all.
All right.
Misery Loves Company fans, I'm sorry. We did 40 great episodes. You loving Kevin. I'm sure you're all staying there and loving Kevin. Enjoy Kevin. Why was this has nothing to do with me anymore. It doesn't. You still love the show.
I like when you use that voice. Enough.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Your
matter.
hands are
it's
going
just
wildly.
a show.
All right. All right.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having me.
Lenny.
Thank
You're the
you, guys.
best. And anything you want to bring up? So New Year's, you're going to be with Leslie
I'll be
Jones.
with Leslie Jones on tour if you want to come see me.
Where are you going to
tour
be New
somewhere.
Year's Eve? Are you going
New
to
Year's
be?
Eve, I'll be in Times Square with Leslie Jones.
Oh, Times
So you
Square.
might see me in the background of some weird shot.
Oh.
Yeah, Times Square or
Very
Leslie
fucking
Jones.
cool. All right. And New Year's Eve, I'm going to be in Albany. Just go to my Facebook page because I can't remember the name of it. It's some theater in Albany. with
Nice.
Tom Nicky.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
I did that one year.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did. He has like 5 different theaters.
I
That's
think
the
I did it with
problem.
you one year.
Yeah, I think I did do it with
Yes.
you one year. Those are fun, the
That was
theaters.
fun.
Anyway.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Carrie's on stage. Oh, and Adam Hineker, thank you. He's our fabulous sound producer. If you feel like donating,
Yes,
I know you're not
donate,
a big fan of
donate
donations,
your
but
money.
please donate patreon.com/2tiredtwats. And Kevin actually gave us that name, Two Tired Twats. You like it?
I like it.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
And what else? Anything else I'm forgetting, Adam? Subscribe. Adam is so ready to get the fuck out of here. Adam's like, let's go already.
Here we go. Actually, one thing.
Go ahead.
The new Two Tired Twats Facebook page. That's what we need to push because we
Oh,
need to
okay.
get everybody over there.
New Tired Twats Facebook page. It's still called Chick Chat because we don't have enough people liking Two Tired Twats, but it's not called Two Tired Twats, right? Because we're not allowed to call it that.
Yeah, it's called. It's actually they let us do it, but we had
Oh,
to
they
start.
did.
We had to start a new one. We
Okay.
should really have meetings before the show. But we had to do a new one.
Yes.
So we want everybody to go over there so we can broadcast to that instead.
So go from Chick Chat.
just when you're on Facebook,
When you're on
don't
Facebook.
overcomplicate this.
Yes.
When you're on Facebook,
Yes.
just like the Two Tired Twats page, and then you'll
like
get
the Two Tired Twats
notifications.
page.
Yep.
Yes, that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take $1, by the way, on Patreon. We're not greedy. And thank you to everyone who's been leaving us reviews and subscribing and upping your money. And we're very happy. We love you all. Happy holidays and goodbye.
You need like a sign off.
I do need a sign off. Yeah, I do need a sign off. What should